What if I told you that behind some of the most defining events in history, there were men meeting in closed rooms, using codes, symbols, and rituals that very few people in the world have ever seen? Today, you're about to uncover 12 secrets of Freemasonry, even ones many Masons themselves prefer not to talk about. And pay attention, secret number 4 involves a real crime that shook the United States and remains unsolved to this day. Secret number 12. Freemasonry is older than you think. Most people believe Freemasonry officially began in 1717, when the Grand Lodge was founded in London. But that's just the public start date. In reality, Masonic codes and rituals had already been circulating in secret since the late 1500s. It all started with William Shaw, a Scottish master of works who oversaw the construction of royal palaces. He wrote strict guidelines for stonemasons, not just technical instructions but also behavioral rules that would later form the backbone of modern Freemasonry. Many of those original codes are still used today, though adapted for modern meetings. But it's not just time that hides their mysteries. Even the symbols they display have different interpretations, and not all Masons agree on what they mean. Secret 11. The mystery behind the letter G. If you've ever seen the classic Masonic emblem, the compass and square, you've probably noticed the letter G in the center. But what does it actually stand for? The answer depends on who you ask, even inside the order. For some, the G stands for God, the great architect of the universe. For others, it's geometry, the foundation of all architectural art, and a nod to the original working stonemasons. Close-ups of Masonic rings with the letter G. Slow-motion shots of precise geometric designs being drawn by hand. So what do you think? Does that G stand for faith or science? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And speaking of faith, there's a theory that one of the most iconic protests in American history may have been born inside a Masonic lodge. Secret number 10. The most famous tea in history might smell like Conspiracy Boston, 1773. Tensions were boiling over against British rule when a group known as the Sons of Liberty planned a protest that would go down in history, the Boston Tea Party. What most people don't know is that the group often met in the basement of the Green Dragon Tavern, the very same building that housed a Masonic lodge upstairs. Historical records even show that on the night of the protest, a Masonic meeting was suddenly cancelled. Coincidence, or part of the plan? And if you think that's controversial, wait until you hear about the disappearance that sparked America's very first independent political party. Secret number 9. The disappearance that shook Freemasonry, 1826 New York. A man named William Morgan claimed he had damaging information about Masonic rituals. Soon after, he was arrested on a minor charge and then abducted straight from jail. Witnesses reported seeing him shoved into a carriage and driven off to an unknown location. He was never seen again. The case caused a national uproar, fueled the anti-Masonic movement, and led to the creation of the Anti-Masonic Party, the first independent political party in U.S. history. 4 men were convicted of crimes related to the kidnapping, but none received serious sentences, only adding to the suspicion. And the most shocking part, this wasn't the only time Freemasonry found itself tangled up in political battles, scandals, and forbidden lists. Those were secrets 12 through 9, and from here on out, things get darker. Hidden lodges, conflicts with the Catholic Church, and a scandal that involved nearly 1,000 politicians, judges, and military officials. Stay tuned. Secret number 8. The women who challenged the rule. Officially, Freemasonry has always been an all-male fraternity, but history shows that women have gotten closer to its inner circle than the organization might like to admit. In England, 2 all-female orders emerged: the Order of Women Freemasons, founded in 1908, and the Honorable Fraternity of Ancient Freemasons, 1913. Both follow almost the same principles, rituals, and hierarchies as the men's lodges, calling their members sisters. But perhaps the most fascinating story is that of Elizabeth Aldworth. In the early 1700s, she is said to have accidentally witnessed a Masonic ceremony and, to everyone's surprise, was admitted into the order, becoming the first known woman to receive the title. Do you think Freemasonry should officially open its doors to women? I'd love to hear your take. But gender isn't the only thing that defines a Mason. There's also a strict ranking system, and reaching the highest level is no easy feat. Secret number 7. The journey to the third degree. In Freemasonry, advancement is divided into degrees. The highest and most respected is the third degree, known as Master Mason. Getting there takes more than just time. It requires passing a tough interrogation by senior members and proving absolute loyalty and understanding of Masonic principles. This system doesn't just choose leaders. It tightly controls who gets access to the most secret rituals and symbols. Many believe that above the third degree, there are unofficial levels that only a select few will ever see. And it was exactly to fight that kind of hidden influence that one of America's most controversial political parties was born. Secret number 6. When politics turned against Freemasonry. Fueled by the outrage over William Morgan's disappearance, the anti-Masonic Party was founded in 1828 as America's first independent political party. Its mission? To reduce Masonic influence in politics and expose its secrets. The party pioneered tactics that are now standard, like holding national conventions to pick candidates and creating formal political platforms. Among its members were figures who would later hold major offices, including Millard Fillmore, future U.S. President, and William Seward, future Secretary of State under Abraham Lincoln. Although it eventually faded away, its legacy remains, and many historians see it as one of the first signs that Freemasonry would never again escape public scrutiny. But while some were trying to bring it down, other groups found in Freemasonry a space to resist, even against slavery. Secret number 5. Black Lodges and the Fight for Freedom. In 1775, Prince Hall, a black abolitionist, was accepted, along with 14 other men, into a Masonic lodge at the Boston Harbor. But there was a catch. They were granted only limited rights. They could meet and perform Masonic funerals, but they were forbidden from carrying out other rituals. That didn't stop them. In 1784, Hall secured an official charter from the Grand Lodge of England, establishing the first black Masonic lodge in America. Over time, these lodges became vital centers for community organization, resistance against oppression, and support for education. Did you know Freemasonry also played a role in the fight against slavery? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But not every Masonic story is inspiring. Some have been tied to scandals that made global headlines. In the next secrets, we're stepping into controversial territory. Police scandals, secret lists with nearly 1,000 names, and a centuries-old clash with the Catholic Church. What comes next might completely change how you see Freemasonry. Secret number 4. The list that shook Italy. In 1981, Italian police made a discovery that rocked the nation, a secret list containing nearly 1,000 names of members from a Masonic lodge called Propaganda. On that list were police officers, judges, businessmen, journalists, and even high-ranking military officials. Worse yet, the investigation linked the lodge to a series of crimes, including bombings, money laundering, and even the mysterious murder of banker Roberto Calvi, found hanged beneath a bridge in London in a case that still fuels conspiracy theories. The scandal was so explosive that the Italian government stepped in and the lodge was officially shut down. But many believe its network continued operating from the shadows. Do you think groups like P2 keep working behind the scenes even after being dissolved? Let's hear your take. And this wasn't the only time Freemasonry clashed with a powerful institution. The next secret involves the Vatican. Secret number 3, a 300-year clash with the Catholic Church. Freemasonry requires all its members to believe in a supreme being. Still, for the Catholic Church, that's not enough. Since 1738, the Vatican has explicitly forbidden Catholics from becoming Masons, declaring it a mortal sin. The tension only escalated in the 19th century, when Albert Pike, one of the most influential figures in American Freemasonry, called the papacy the torture and curse of humanity. Needless to say, that didn't help relations. To this day, the Church's official stance hasn't changed. Catholics who join the Masons are in a state of grave sin and cannot receive communion. But not all clashes were religious. Some involved presidents and political leaders at the very top. Secret number 2. Masonic presidents. At least 15 US presidents have been confirmed Freemasons, including historic names like George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Harry S. Truman. There are also unconfirmed suspicions about others, like Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. The consistent presence of Masons in the highest office has fueled theories that major political decisions have been influenced by Masonic interests. Do you believe Freemasonry still influences political decisions today? And it's not just presidents. The next secret reveals an impressive list of influential members. Secret number 1. Famous people you didn't know were Masons. Beyond political leaders, Freemasonry has counted artists, musicians, inventors, and explorers among its ranks. Mozart, Winston Churchill, Nat King Cole, Henry Ford, and even astronaut Buzz Aldrin are part of that list. For some, this proves how Freemasonry has reached into countless spheres of influence, from art to science, music to space exploration. For others, it's just a historical coincidence, though it's hard to ignore such a concentration of high-profile names. After learning these 12 secrets, the real question is, how much more is there to uncover? And more importantly, who's really pulling the strings? If you've made it this far, it's because this topic fascinates you as much as it fascinates me. So here's my invitation: hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because in the next video we're diving into a Masonic ritual so secret that, according to some reports, even many members have never witnessed it. And now tell me in the comments, which of these secrets surprised you the most?